for a story?
Yeah!
Alright! In my other life, I'm a children's librarian, so I tell lots of stories for the kids. This one's a little bit darker, a little bit more adult. This is the story of the devil and the magic ballroom. I would say that it feels odd to be telling this story in church. So, a bodhran is a traditional Irish drum, like Joanne is playing right now. And Joanne's going to help me tell this story to you. So, the story of the devil and the magic bodhran. Now, a long time ago in Ireland, there lived a man named Seamus. Now, Seamus was a very poor man, and he and his wife Bridget, they struggled to provide for their family, to put enough food on the table for their family. Things got so bad, the children had threadbare clothing, and they never had enough to eat. Things got so bad that one day Seamus said to himself that he would do anything to pull his family out of this dreadful poverty, even sell his soul to the devil. Now, you should always be careful when you say anything like that, because you never know who will be listening. And of course, on this particular day, old Nick, the devil himself, was listening. And he appeared before Seamus, and he offered him a bargain. Seamus, at the end of his life, would give up his soul to the devil. He would go down to the devil's house to spend all eternity there. But in return, the devil would give him a magic drum, a magic bodhran. And any time that he wanted for anything for his family, all he had to do was play that drum. And anything that he needed, all his wishes would be granted. Well, this sounded fine to Seamus. He was a young man after all, and so he made the bargain with the devil. And right away he decided to test the magic of the bodhran. So he picked up that bodhran and he played that drum. He walked on home, and there on the doorstep he found a sack of potatoes. And hanging up beside the door, some fine fish. And when he went into his cottage, there on the table he found a pound of butter and a fresh jug of milk. And there in the meal chest in the ark he found plenty of oatmeal. Well, Bridget, his wife, as you might suspect, was a bit suspicious about all of this, but Seamus told them that it must have been the generosity of the neighbors, some fine charity there. So she accepted that story. And they ate well that night, better than they had eaten for as long as they could remember. Well, from that day forward, things went pretty well for the family. Anytime that they needed more food, or the children needed new clothes, new shoes, peat for the fire, all Seamus had to do was take down that bodhran and play that drum. And his needs would be granted. Well, the years went by, and Seamus's children, they grew older. They moved out and had families of their own. They got married, they had cottages of their own. One by one they went off, and soon enough, it was just Seamus and Bridget growing older. Now, Seamus had never divulged the secret of the bodhran to anyone. You can imagine that the villagers had gotten suspicious. But Seamus had never told the story of the bodhran, what he had done. And Bridget, of course, was very suspicious, but she could never get a word out of Seamus about the bodhran. Well, the days went by, and Seamus got older. And as every day went by, a knot of anxiety began to grow in Seamus's tummy, his stomach. And he began to think about what was coming at the end of his life, namely the trip down to the devil's house. And he began to wonder if there was a way for him to get out of this dreadful bargain with the devil. Well, the anxiety got so bad that eventually he went to Bridget and confessed the entire thing, what he had done. And Bridget was a very clever woman, she thought to herself, and she said, well, Seamus, what you must do is you must ask the devil for something that he will be reluctant to give you. So you must ask the devil to build churches and chapels all over the country and ask him to do it in one night. Well, this sounded like a marvelous plan to Seamus, so he took down his Bodhran and he played that drum. And the devil appeared in a flash of fire and a cloud of smoke. Yes, Seamus, yes, what can I do for you? Because of course you know that the devil always appears to the Irish in the form of a Sassenach, an Englishman. Yes, Seamus, he said in a very posh accent, what can I do for you? Seamus said, well, sir, I would like you to build churches and chapels all over Ireland in one night. The devil, he flicked his tail in annoyance. He said, all in one night. Seamus, this will take my army of demons all night. It will take them a great deal of work. This had better be the last request you make of me. Well, the devil and his army of demons were hard at work all night, but it was accomplished. Churches and chapels all over Ireland the next morning. And this is why, if you ever go to visit Ireland, you'll find churches and chapels ruined all over the place. Well, Seamus was in despair. But Bridget told him not to despair. She still had another idea, another card up her sleeve. She said, Seamus, there's one more thing you could try. And she whispered in Seamus's ear. Seamus smiled. His face grew brighter. He took his Bodhran down and he played that drum. The devil appeared once again in another flash of fire and smoke. Yes, Seamus, I thought you had asked me for your last request. I thought you had made your last request. I have just one last request, sir. And then I'll go with you to your home, said Seamus. Very well, said the devil. One last request I'll grant, and then, Seamus, you will come with me. Seamus took a deep breath, and he said, well, sir, I want you to make all politicians honest. The devil ground his teeth. The fire flashed from his eyes. He stomped his foot. He said, Seamus, I know there's a woman behind this. Fine, you win. Give me back that drum. If I made all politicians honest, there would be plenty of times why I wouldn't have a single coal at all to burn on my